Hey, what's up, guys? This is 2 Point Stance. My name is Uriah.
Julio.
We're going to be talking about the Falcons today. How can we fix the Falcons? Obviously, right after the Super Bowl, the offseason starts, and then all the questions start to come up, right? Who's going to, go where? What quarterback should go where? What running back should go where? Who should get fired? Who should get re-signed and whatnot? But that's the beauty of the offseason, Anyways, this is an exciting time, and today we're just going to talk about how we can fix the Falcons. I know they had a brutal season, but towards the end they started to pick it up, and eventually
just losing our draft position.
Yeah, exactly, just losing the draft position, and now you guys are what, 16, 17, I believe?
We're 16.
16. And so how do we fix the Falcons? Like Julio being a Falcons fan,
The
resident Falcons fan, yeah. So I'm gonna, defer over to him on a lot of the stuff. But what do you think? What's the first thing that the Falcons need to do in order to get back in a double-digit win, in 2020?
Oh man, too bad we can't go back and fix things from the past, right?
Or the Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't want to go that far back, although that would be one for sure. If we want to go that far back, do you keep Kyle Shanahan instead of Dan Quinn at that point? I know everybody be like, that's crazy. He took you to the Super Bowl. But it's like, who took us to the Super Bowl. It was Kyle Shanahan's play calling. Although, I don't want to throw all the blame on him because Devontae Freeman could have made that block on the 3rd and 1 with 8 minutes to go while we're up by 16, which caused a sack fumble with Matt Ryan.
Was that the start of the collapse?
Oh, no question. No, yeah. For me, people like to say towards the end of the game he should have run the ball.
Fourth quarter.
The play that switched that whole game around was that sack fumble, no question.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was 28-12, 8 minutes to go. Your right tackle's out. Your Tevin Coleman's out. Why are you taking a chance at that point? Right. It's 3rd and 1. Go get that first down. Run some more clock out. Even if you don't get it, now you're punting deep and make them go the length of the field.
Of course.
They got the ball back at like the 25-yard line is the reason why they were able to get a quick touchdown, 2-point conversion, and make it to a one-score game or one-possession game, excuse me. At that point, like I said, I don't want to go too much that far back. That's 4 years ago or 3 years ago, excuse me. But like I said, at the end of the day, what it comes back to is like, am I happy they brought Dan Quinn back? Let's go starting with coaching. I could deal with Dan Quinn coming back. I'm not excited about Dirk Cutter, and that's my biggest problem. Number one, I'm a big believer in running the ball, controlling the clock, and defense. I'm a very strong believer in that. If Matt Ryan has to drop back with that offensive line 40, 50 times a game, I'm not confident about that.
Right.
If you see people, as much as we sometimes talk about getting rid of Matt Ryan's contract and getting a rookie quarterback contract, I do like Matt Ryan enough to say, hey, the guy does get beat up a lot. Like offensive line, regarding his offensive line, like he doesn't get enough protection. Mm-hmm. And what kills me about Dirk Cutter is like his run schemes are not creative at all. They're very predictable. He runs on predictable downs. Does he have decent passing concepts? Yeah, he does. But you got to admit, you got Julio Jones, you got Calvin Ridley, you know what I mean? You got Austin Hooper. Like, yeah, of course. Like, you can make production with players like that, even if you got simplistic schemes.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm not happy about the Dirk Cutter hire. Rich Scangarello was out there, which was our quarterbacks coach when Kyle Shanahan was with us. Mm-hmm. He went to San Fran, followed Shanahan there, and then he went to Denver and had that same scheme. And like I said, it bothers me because like that's the scheme we ran. I mean, I would think it'd be an easier transition to that, but they decided, hey, let's just keep Cutter here. We'll see how it goes. I hope it was one of those things. Obviously, I don't mind being wrong about that. I don't mind.
He's not terrible. But
please, I'm not gonna kill him.
Okay, now if Matt Ryan had the protection, we'd be talking about Dirk Cutter, like we're talking about him now.
I guess not. My biggest thing is that he wasn't, even when we were successful back in 2012, we went 13-3 with Dirk Cutter his first year with us. Mm-hmm. Like I said, at that time we had an aging Michael Turner, but we had Julio Jones in the second year, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Harry Douglas. We had players. Yeah. So like, okay, yeah, you can give Dirk Cutter credit for that, but I mean, you have ballers, so it's like, can you really give him all the credit for that? True. Same thing. We had a 17-0 lead in the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers, and again, we blew it, lost that one, didn't make it to the Super Bowl, which I think we could have went and beat the Ravens that year.
Right.
Anyway, point being is like I'm not crazy about Cutter. I'm 13 after that year, 2012. That was his first year. 2013, obviously we had a ton of injuries, and then 2014 we had the disappointing year where they cleaned house, and Mike Smith, Dirk Cutter, Mike Nolan were all gone. So and then obviously Dan Quinn came in with Kyle Shanahan in 2015. Yeah, so for me, my biggest thing is like I just want to see the run game come back. It's so important. Matt Ryan is so good off of play action. He had his MVP season under that scheme with Kyle Shanahan because he is he's great with the ball fakes. He's great in the ball handling. You know, obviously, yeah, it's easy for an NFL quarterback to make wide open throws to guys. I get it, but you know, Matt Ryan on his skinny pulse, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL to do it.
Of course,
that route he throws so well. Like I said, his play action. He's sneaky mobile. Obviously, I think people don't give him too much credit because he looks kind of sloppy when he runs. Not that he's out of shape, because he's not.
No, he's not.
But it's just he looks kind of lanky and it doesn't look cool, you know? Like the 6'2", 220-pound, Aaron Rodgers, the 6'2", 225-pound Patrick Mahomes. When they run, it just looks compact and neat. You know, Matt Ryan's kind of like flobbering around when he runs and it doesn't look pretty. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, he is sneaky athletic. You know, he plays basketball in the offseason with Matt Stafford. You know, he played baseball in high school and Boston College. So, you know, he's an athlete, no question. You know, so I like Matt Ryan. I hope he gets a little bit more accurate. I'm a little afraid that the beating he's taken in his career has contributed to his lack of arm strength lately.
Sure.
That's worrying me a little bit. I hope I'm wrong.
Wide open Julio Jones, or you know, 10-yard, and then he gets underthrown,
or sometimes like the timing's not there, he'll overthrow him. Like I said, not to say that every quarterback's perfect all the time,
right?
You know, but yeah, I would like to see those hit with a little bit more consistency, you know, or a little bit closer to his 2016, 2018 seasons were really good. I'm hoping that the punishment he's taken, like I said, I'm not blaming him. He's taking a beating behind those offensive lines sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
I think the biggest thing is your offensive line. You know, that's your biggest, I think, weakness on the team, offensive line.
I would say defense. I mean, okay, let's say, we know what happened last year. They drafted 2 first-rounders, one at 14, traded up to 31. 14, they got Chris Lindstrom. 31, they got Kyle.
Why?
Please don't let me go down that road. But you can say, even with that argument, they got 4 first-rounders on their offensive line. The only weak spot right now, barring injury, will be your left guard spot, which you can have James Carpenter, Jamon Brown, and Matt Gano compete for. I pray that somebody comes victorious there. I don't want to see them go O-line at 16 again.
No.
That would drive me insane. Like, I'm going to pull my hair out again. You got to go defense. And, like, in my offseason plan to fix the Falcons, that's where I would go. No question, we got to make some cuts. You can save about $3.5 million cutting Devontae Freeman.
What's the salary cap?
We got I've seen a couple different ones projected. I've seen not even. About 4.5 to 6.1 is what I've seen.
Oh, man.
Right now.
Wow.
So, like I said, you can free up 3.5 by cutting Devontae Freeman. You can free up another 2.5 by cutting Ty Sombrello, which I'm okay with that.
Devontae, you have to. You have to save some of that money.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, at that point, man, we could probably get around $12-13 million a year. My big plan is, obviously, I think a successful all season, like I said, just like we talked about with the Chargers, being healthy is a major factor.
Exactly.
Obviously, we know that, so that goes without saying.
So let's go step by step. Free agency.
I mean, my plan.
Your plan.
I would love Dante Fowler. I don't think we can afford Clowney. Clowney's another one. Probably the price tag that he's going to generate with his injury concerns.
Man, I'm not paying that a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying.
His football IQ is.
I mean, he messes the game plan up. I'm saying the reason why the Seahawks beat the 49ers at San Fran this year was Clowney.
Well,
there was no other reason.
Yeah, of course.
It was all Clowney. He blew that game up.
And offsides in the most important plays of the season and the playoffs.
I mean, even Von Miller says it. Von Miller says, hey, I'll take 2 offsides a game because he's trying to jump the snap count, you know what I mean, and get there. Yeah. So I get why Clowney does that. Yeah, those hurt and they suck. But at the same time, you know, he does like to mess the play up. I'd rather not go Clowney. I like Fowler, first of all. Dan Quinn recruited him at Florida, and he played 1 season under Quinn over there. He says he wants to come to Atlanta. I think Fowler would be a great fit in our defensive scheme. Remember, we still do have Tack McKinley, who I'm hoping has a breakout 4th season in the NFL.
Sure.
And then, like I said, obviously we talked about a little bit of the Chargers thing. I would love Hunter Henry because I think right now Austin Hooper's going to generate between $10 and $13 million a year.
For sure.
We can't afford that. I'll be honest with you. I don't think so. And I love Hooper. I love the kind of person he is. I love the player. I just think that the Falcons can't afford to put that kind of money towards their offense.
Right.
They can't.
You don't think Hunter Henry wants the same amount of dollars?
I'm hoping that because Atlanta was his hometown team, like his favorite team growing up.
Discount?
Not a hometown discount, but also like recognizing that he has been injury prone. He's okay to say, you know what, give me a Eric Ebron deal. Give me 2 years, 13 mil. $6.5 mil a year.
See what happens.
See what happens, and I'll come home to Atlanta and play for my favorite team. That's what I'm hoping for. Obviously, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. That'll be a dream come true. If we can somehow bring in Dante Fowler, Hunter Henry, and maybe re-sign Devondre Campbell to cover tight ends, because I do like the way Campbell covers tight ends, although he had a little bit of an off year this year. Mm-hmm. If he can rebound and cover tight ends again, I'll be kind of happy with that. Now, is that realistic? Without a few cuts, it's not. It's right. Not. I'm going to be real honest here. But man, I say go Fowler, go Henry, and then in the draft, just attack defensive line. And then after you can, like, maybe I would double dip in defensive line on top of free agency. That's just how bad we need it.
Yeah.
Claiborne's a free agent. Beasley's a free agent. Tyler Davis is a free agent. We need pass rush. Oh. And there was a very good stat that Cynthia Freeland came with. She does analytics for NFL.com. And basically it came down to the turnaround in the Falcons defense from the first 8 games of the year to the second 8 games where we went 6-2. And she said the separation that the receivers were creating on the secondary of the Falcons stayed the same. The only difference is that the pressure went up. So, you can attack it the way New England does. New England, for example, they have a ridiculous secondary, and they use that secondary to be able to move the front pieces around to create confusion to get their sacks. Right? And they do it with a secondary. You could do it that way, or you could do it pass rush. And so there's that question that's been going around lately. It's like, hey, what's better? Better secondary or better pass rush? Now, they're both complement each other, and you need both of them to have a successful defense. But I'm understanding, according to this stat that Cynthia Freeland came up with, I'm okay with going pass rush to help our secondary. Because remember, we get Keanu Neal back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Desmond Trufant comes back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And then you got, Ricardo Allen, DeMonte Casey. I'm okay with that secondary for now and get the pass rush ramped up, and then we can go later.
Yeah, if your top 7 is nice, even if you have a decent secondary, they'll make that decent secondary look pretty nice.
Oh, of course. I mean, look at you guys. The Chargers, for example. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram makes an injured, depleted secondary without Matterly,
let's go back.
Edward James.
Sean Merriman, Sean Phillips, Jamal Williams.
Yeah, they covered up Quentin Jammer and Sammy Davis. Who knows about 2005 and 6 like that.
So our secondary wasn't the best that year, but that pass rush, got them those interceptions that they needed. All of a sudden they were talking about the Chargers secondary, like, wow, they're so great, but no, it was the front, the front 7.
Mm-hmm.
They were, applying the pressure, stopping the run. Jamal Williams was just a beast. He was a tank up the middle.
Luis Castillo, Igor Shanks.
Dang, that's a classic team.
Yeah,
but front 7 was nice. That's exactly what
That's what I would like. Like I said, I mean that would be for me. That
and
would
even
be
then, if your front 7 is nice, your secondary they're not scrubs either.
I don't think so.
No, they're not scrubs.
Trufant had 4 picks in limited time last year. He hardly played, and he had 4 picks.
So I think that defense would be nice.
Once
we fix the front 7.
It's what I want, And then now Raheem Morris, who was a great part in that defensive turnaround, is our defensive coordinator. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. I'm really amped up for this offseason. I'm a little nervous because sometimes you get amped up and you have this wish list. And even though Fowler said, hey, I would like to go play Atlanta, even though Hunter Henry's like, hey, I grew up a Falcons fan, man, that would be a dream for true.
Fowler is from Atlanta, right?
He's not.
He's not, or was he?
I know he went to he played for the Florida Gators. I'm not exactly sure where he grew up at though.
Okay.
To be honest with you, off the top of my head.
Right.
But yeah, I think Fowler. Yes, did he get great stats playing next to the best defensive player in the NFL, and Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what? Not anything against Donald. Donald is all world. He is the best. I'm never gonna take anything away from him. But Grady Jarrett is a baller in his own right.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And that's what people are forgetting. So is Grady Jarrett Aaron Donald? Absolutely not. But I like Grady Jarrett enough to say, hey, you put Fowler next to him, and then you draft one of these kids at 16, or even maybe trade back. Let's say, if you want to trade back for Chason or Igor Gross-Matos from Penn State, AJ Epinesa from Iowa Hawkeyes, Curtis Weaver in the second round, Bradley Anai in the second round. Those guys, like, I'm all for that. Maybe a Uche in the second round or in the third round to play strong side linebacker and then drop down and be a pass rusher, passing downs. Any of those guys, like, man, I'd be ecstatic with that. Or even, like I said, let's say you don't get any of those first round defensive ends, but if by some miracle, if you just look at certain mock drafts, depending on what happens, if Derek Brown drops to 16, which would be insane, but you never know. Or I'm okay with Javon Kinlaw at 16.
Yeah.
Because then you put him next to Grady Jarrett on the interior, and then you got Fowler on the outside, and then you could draft somebody else in the second round.
That'd be nice.
And remember, we got 2 second-round picks for the Mohamed Sanu play with Mohamed Sanu trade with the Patriots. Excuse me, I got a little tongue-tied there. Man, I'm looking. That'd be awesome.
So what do you do in the second and third round? You got to go offensive line still.
I'm not. I'll still wait. Just because I said, like, the offensive line talent is in the first round, and we can't go offensive line in the first round again. I'm sorry, we cannot.
So defense, first 2 rounds.
I'm going defense, probably first 3.
Okay.
Because what I'm thinking is, like, depends what happens in free agency, obviously.
Right.
But like I said, my game plan off the top of my head, let's say it's Fowler, right, in free agency. Then first round, maybe Kinlaw, maybe AJ Epinesa. I'm more leaning towards, like, Gross-Matos. If we could trade back and get more picks. Look, at the end of the day, Atlanta's cap strapped, right? We don't have a lot of salary cap space. We need bodies. We need draft picks.
Right.
We need very economic contracts on this team. Let's just be honest. You're very top heavy. You got Matt Ryan. You got Julio Jones, Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, Desmond Trufant, Jake Matthews, Alex Mack. You got some players. Yeah, you got some top 10. Like, I'll put our top 10 against any top 10 in the NFL. But the problem with Atlanta is their depth. The problem is their role players.
Right.
That's where we struggle with the rest. We need better role players. And that's why I think in this draft, you can find that. And be immediate contributors, especially in the Dan Quinn scheme, where it's like, hey, just go get it. Just give me effort, be smart, you know what I'm saying, and just go after it. Like, we can get players in the first, second, and third round to help this team, immediately,
Yeah. What about running back position?
Got to go running back. I mean, I just go back to the well like we used to. Hey, 4th, 5th round.
4th, 5th round.
Try to see who you can find there. Like I said, if you trade back and get more picks, maybe you go running back a little earlier.
Or depending on how many picks you
at this point, man, and I'm not trying to, like, dog on Dirk Cutter like we said before, but, like, at the end of the day, like, man, I've seen talented running backs go nowhere under this guy.
That's true.
I hate to say that. Like, and so for me, it's like, it don't matter if we got a Saquon Barkley, if he's running against offensive line and getting pushed in the backfield. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, at the end of the day, I'd rather go running back later in the draft. If not, just giving Brian Hill, Quadri Allison, and Edo Smith a chance. I'm okay with that. I really am. I mean, I know those are not household names. You're like, who the heck did you just say?
No. I
know. But at the same time,
I'm just thinking, like, Yeah, I mean, they're not.
But remember why I'm saying this. Remember my game plan. I mean, you're talking about Julio, Calvin, Hunter, Henry, Matt Ryan at point guard. You know what I'm trying to say?
With
distribute the ball, hopefully with the protection. That's why I'm saying, hey.
Then you don't need.
I don't need an amazing running back at that point.
Running back by committee at this point.
That's what I would go.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would go. Or you can get, like, a decent running back that maybe fell through the cracks, and you can get him at $2 million contract. Okay, maybe let's say San Francisco releases Jared McKinnon.
That's what I was gonna say.
Something like that, where, like, McKinnon got 5 year, $30 million and hasn't paid a down for the San Francisco 49ers because of his injuries.
Right.
Hey, you want to come over here and get a prove-it deal for $1.5, $2 million? All right, I'll take that chance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with that. Or, like I said, if you think you can get that kind of player in the draft, you know what I'm trying to say? A P. Ryan from Florida, Anderson from TCU. In the 4th round or something like that,
why not?
I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
All for it. And at that point, like I said, I'll be really excited for Atlanta and what they have in store. To me, like, obviously, like I said, it goes without saying, injuries and staying healthy is major. But we got the AFC West on our schedule, and we got the NFC North.
Hey, Chargers Falcons.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, it's going to be in LA, the new stadium. We're excited to be there. We're going to be there.
We'll be there. We'll be sharing stories. We might even do a YouTube video out there. We'll just hit the record button. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, for sure. And anybody who wants to join us, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get out there. But yeah, for sure. Like I said, we got the Chargers Chargers at LA. We got at KC. They're saying there's rumors that Denver's going to play us in London. So that's what they're saying for now.
Right.
And then obviously in Las Vegas is coming over to us.
Hey,
Vegas
trip.
No, not that one. Vegas is coming to.
Oh, Vegas is coming to that.
Yeah. So I mean, beautiful stadium. By the way, been there.
But that's a perfect excuse for me being a Charger fan to go
to Vegas.
Hey, baby, we got to go to Vegas every year.
Yeah.
Or the draft, yeah.
Yeah, that stadium looks nice too. That new black hole, or the Death Star, like Jonathan Abraham called it. Yeah, for sure. Super excited about this season, man. Like, my biggest thing is, like, every year I go into with a game plan for the Falcons. I'm like, please pull this off, and somehow they don't do what I want. And it
well, I remember we were watching the draft last year.
Oh, you started cracking up when you saw that. I legit watched the draft, bro, like with my heart in my throat, like if I'm on a roller coaster, bro. Like, I'm like, watching Dimitroff make a stupid trade. I'll never forget, quick story, when me and Uriah first met in 2011, he would call me Julio Jones. And he would say, Julio Jones. And he knew I was a Falcons fan because we talk football all the time. And I'm like, dude, get out of here. There's no way. We're at 27. Julio Jones ain't falling. And I'll never forget, I was at work, shuttling some customers around. And I'm like, okay, I'll get home in time before the Falcons draft. They draft at 27. You know what I mean? I'm excited.
And I was getting the live updates.
Dude, my phone blew up. Like, all my friends were texting me.
Did I tell you?
Well,
I
you were one
first.
of them.
Yeah.
You're one of them. And everybody's like, you traded up for Julio Jones? I'm like, what? Like,
yeah,
I was mad because I wanted Robert Quinn. If we were going to trade up, I wanted Robert Quinn. Because I've always said, man, we need a pass rush.
Right.
Atlanta hasn't had a pass rush in such a long time.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was like, oh, man, if we're going to trade up, I want Robert Quinn.
Jonathan Abraham, I think, was the last. Like,
big sack guy. Yeah, I mean, Vic Beasley in 2016 had 15 and a half sacks, 6 forced fumbles. He had an incredible 2016, but hasn't produced the same since then.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, was I wrong about the Julio Jones trade? Yeah. Well, at least especially with what Cleveland did with those picks. Like, Cleveland bombed those picks. Oh, so yeah, I can literally say Atlanta won that trade because Julio's an All-Pro and he's a Hall of Famer, no question.
Easily.
So yeah, and Julio's one of my favorite players in all the NFL. He's humble. He's quiet. He blocks. He does everything. Would I like him to be a little bit more field aware in the red zone? I think so. That's my only knock on him, and I know people want to kill me for that, but if you do watch him, there's times where I don't know if he's completely aware. Just if you watch like the great ones, Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, man, these guys, they find a way to, like, in the end zone. They just
he's always in the injury report of my fantasy league.
Yeah,
but you're saying he's just all muscle.
He's all muscle. He's gonna pull something. There's no fat on his body, bro. You need fat, and like your muscle needs fat to like.
What do you mean you did not play?
Yeah,
are you gonna play? Yes or no?
Nah, he's too much muscle, bro. The guy's he's scoped it out of stone.
Yeah, he's
and like I said, I'm super excited about Julio and what he's done for this organization and his team. And I never thought it would be so fun saying my own name out loud, but it is.
Julio!
Exactly.
Give me a prediction.
Man, give
me a prediction, man. Well,
I'm okay with 11-5, 12-4 if everything comes into. No, I mean, I know that sounds safe sometimes because it's like that's where everybody shoots for.
No, but we did it with the Charger ones too. Like, if everyone's healthy, right, and my plans and your plans, your GM and my GM.
And look, we're going realistic here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like, I would love, let's get Luke Kuechly out of retirement and have him play for the Falcons. Like, no, we're not going there. Or like, hey, Aaron Donald would be great if we trade for him.
Let's trade for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly.
He won the Super Bowl now.
No, that's not going to happen. We're going realistic here. Yeah. We're talking about salary cap. Is it doable? You know what I mean? Where you pick in the draft. We're not over here saying, oh, Chase Young. Yeah, he'll solve all the Falcons' problems. He's not going to be there at 16.
No.
Nor do I'll be honest with you, nor do I want Atlanta to trade from 16 to 2. Like, no. Like, that'll take so much compensation. It will destroy us for years to come.
I think so, yeah.
We don't have, like I said, we don't have the salary cap space to do it.
No.
We just don't. So we need bodies. And so right now, like I said, Chase Young, I think he's going to be a generational talent. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. But I don't think Atlanta can take that chance. So like I said, we're going back realistically. Chase on from LSU. Gross Models from Penn State, Epinesa from Iowa. Although Epinesa has the same build as John Kaminsky, not saying they're the same type of athlete. That's why the combine in 2 weeks is super important to know what these guys stand.
Huge,
they're 3 cones, their first, not their 40 times, but their 10 yards. You want to see that explosion, how they look coming off their first step. That's what I want to see. Once I see that, I can make a little bit more like, okay, what I would like from Epinesa, for me personally as a Falcons fan, is maybe for him to drop 10, 15 pounds and let me see what he looks at 265, 270. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he might be a little
But
bit more.
if he's 285, 290, I'm probably going to see him more as a 5 technique in a 3-4 defense or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point, like, we have John Comiskey, who is 6'5", 285, so, or 6'4", 285, which is the same exact build. So at this point, like I said, I'd rather just go one of these pass rushers, even if they're raw. Hey, that's okay. We got Fowler, we got McKinley. If all goes to plan, you know what I mean. I'm okay with getting one of these younger kids to see if we can get some potential out of them. And hey, 3 or 4 pass rushers, let's throw them at the quarterback in waves.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
it's just like, you know, they said for the Giants back in 07 when the Giants won the Super Bowl. Then they came back and won 13 games in 2008. They said, hey, most important thing is get to the quarterback and protect the quarterback.
Yep.
That's it. You know, and look what the Giants did with Eli Manning, who I think, not going to go on to the Eli Manning rant right now,
Nope.
but he's a scrub. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you know what I mean. And at the same time, like, hey man, let's Dallas in the '90s. You know, when they won their 2 Super Bowls. I'm not Aikman's Hall of Famer. Irvin's a Hall of Famer. Emmitt Smith's a Hall of Famer. I get it, but that offensive line and defensive line were ridiculous. The best in the league. So for me, hey, let's throw him at the quarterback in waves. Let's protect Matt Ryan and see Atlanta in the playoffs. I'm super excited about those new uniforms, by the way. I'm a little nervous because I'm kind of scared that they're going to mess them up. But, man, they got a chance to get this right. I would love a matte black helmet, by the way. That would be super dope, although I don't see it happening.
If you're listening,
please. I mean, Nike already developed them. They're not going to release them until April. So there's no changing it now. So we'll see. Author Blank says he likes them. A couple people that saw them say they like them.
Any
and
leaks
I just hope
online?
we're not just saying it. No leaks. Yeah. There's a couple concepts that people have come up with. But yeah, I'm kind of over the red tops, white pants. I really am. So like I'm hoping for some black in there. You know what I mean?
More black.
It's just that that game last year, the Falcons Saints game where the Falcons had the black throwbacks and then the Saints had the all white uniforms.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's one of the best uniform games I've ever seen.
For sure.
Period. So I'm looking forward to that. Just a little bit, but I think everybody else can agree.
No, those are nice.
So yeah, that's what I'm shooting for, and I think that's fixing the Falcons. So
11-5, 12-4.
if everything goes according to plan.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Same
for
here.
sure. Listen to me because I'm usually right, just saying the truth. I don't speak opinion, I speak facts.
You'll be competing with the Saints. You'll be up there with the Saints,
always.
You know?
I mean, for now,
always.
as long as Sean Payton is there, you will be, because I think Sean Payton, as much as I don't like him, as I think he's a little bit of a jerk. He's a master play caller. He's a great motivator of men. So for me, I do respect Sean Payton, like I said, for those reasons. But yeah, as long as he's there, you got to compete with the Saints. So yeah, I mean, I think Carolina might have a little down year. Not doubting them. Just like I said, the Kuechly retirement is big time. Or is Cam coming back? Or are you trading them? Or are you gonna? I think they're gonna be in rebuilding mode. And then obviously Tampa Bay. Who knows what's going to happen? Is Jameis coming back? Are they going to draft a quarterback? Are they bringing another quarterback in? We don't know. So I think right now it is a 1-2 race between the Saints and the Falcons for now. Maybe a dark horse sleeps in there, but I think it's Saints-Falcons. And I'm looking forward to the 2020 season. Hopefully everything works out. And that'll be fixing the Falcons.
That's dope.
You know?
What do you guys think?
Yeah, what's our next team, too?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that. We were talking like a couple days ago. Yo, there's 2 Chargers Falcons. And we did our homework and, you know. But what other teams do you guys want to listen to? Or,
yeah, who should we fix next? Let us know when you guys want to listen.
I need homework for the week now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I hate homework. But still, yeah, no, for sure. We want to talk about your teams. I mean, like I said, we're big Chargers and Falcons fans, but we're even bigger NFL fans.
Yeah,
and or football fans, period.
So drop a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Give us a like. Hit the subscribe button. We're going to keep making more videos every week. And we'll see you guys next week or
hopefully. We'll see what next topic. Yeah, absolutely. Take care, guys.
Take care. God bless.
God bless. Take care.